j'espère que vous allez bien. Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. And today we are going to discuss and talk about the French Revolution. So in France, in fact, I think France all over the world is known for the French Revolution. You know, French all over the world is known for the French Revolution. So why is that what it is? Why is France known all over the world for the French Revolution? Donc la Révolution française de 1789. First of all, here we can see some of the symbol of the French Revolution. These are the symbol of the French Revolution. The Republic, the French Republic, la République française, was established at the time of the French Revolution. Then they took some symbol. One symbol is le bonnet, the hat, le bonnet phrygien. You can see people would wear this kind of hat here. One symbol is la cocarde, and in the USA you have this as well. You know, la cocarde, bleu, blanc, rouge. And some other symbol, I'm not sure. Of course, the triptyque Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité was written at this time, avec la Déclaration des droits de l'homme et du citoyen. Okay, remember that you can download the presentation. I will put the link for you. So remember also that it helps me when you download it. Okay, let's go. En 1789, la France est une monarchie. Le roi s'appelle Louis XIV. So you can read after me. En 1789, la France est une monarchie. Le roi s'appelle... Oh pardon, I made a mistake. Louis XVI, not Louis XIV. Louis XVI. Ouais, c'est Louis XIV. Okay, so you can see the King of France, and here you have all the symbol of the king. He has here the stick. Stick gives him power. This, I think, is the cross of commander of France. This is also the ermine. This is white. White is the color of God, because the king has been nominated by God. And here you have la fleur de lys, which is also the flower of the king of France. And he has the wig here. And okay. Qu'est-ce que c'est une monarchie? Qu'est-ce que c'est une monarchie? C'est un pays gouverné par un président, un premier ministre, un roi ou une reine. Alors, do you know what is monarchy? Qu'est-ce que c'est monarchie? C'est un pays gouverné par, réponse, c'est un roi ou une reine. Oui, très bien. Louis XVI est riche, très riche, très riche, très riche. Il est fabuleusement riche. I'm not sure if it's really the truth, because in fact, yes, he's rich, but France is poor. You know, because the king, especially Louis XIV, used a lot of money, and France as a country is bankrupt. So the king is not so rich. In fact, he's the king of France. The country belongs to him, but the country is bankrupt. Look at the symbol here. He has the sword, is the power, is the executive, the power of the army, the power to. This is the justice, is the hand of justice, is this hand like this, not like this, you know, not like this, like this, and is the symbol for giving the justice. And the rest, the third one, so it means he has the three power in one. I don't remember about the third one. Okay. Donc, il habite à Versailles. Yes, the King of France lives in Versailles, not in Paris. Okay, ça c'est Versailles. Versailles est un palais. This part of Versailles is famous all over the world because it's called la Galerie des Glaces. It's where you have many mirrors, and the mirrors, it's at the time, it was a technical achievement. Not many people were able to do mirror. And when you had many mirrors, it was a symbol that you were powerful and wealthy. And in Venice, the mirror came from Venice because, you know, Venice was very wealthy, and they had the knowledge and they had the money to do all these mirrors. So the king wanted to show, look, I'm so rich, I have the mirrors. You know. C'est un palais somptueux. Oui, Versailles, c'est très beau. C'est un palais somptueux. C'est beaucoup en or. C'est très beau. C'est un palais somptueux. Louis XVI est marié. Okay. Sa femme s'appelle Marie-Antoinette. C'est la femme de Louis XVI. Sa femme. Et qui est-ce? Qui est-ce? C'est le dauphin. C'est le bébé, le dauphin. Elle est autrichienne. Le peuple français n'aime pas Marie-Antoinette. The French people didn't like Marie-Antoinette because she was a foreigner. And people thought, okay, she doesn't understand French people. The king is good, but she gets the king totally brainwashed, and she's the one who brings misery. The king cares about French people. The king is here by the will of God. The French people respect it a lot, respect the king, respect God, but the Marie Antoinette, they thought she's the one who bring the misery to us. Okay. And you see, at the time, it was the culture of being white. They put the powder to be very white and weak. You know. Beauty is white. Le peuple français déteste Marie-Antoinette l'Autrichienne. Here, c'est une caricature, a caricature of Marie-Antoinette as an Austrian puntress. You know. And here, you know this. What is this? It is, I think, Hydre. It's a monster from the Greek antiquity, and this kind of monster will prey on humans. You know. Une hydre, she's also, you know, this with the snake above your head. It's also a monster from the antiquity. So this make fun of her. Louis XVI adore la chasse. Many people said Louis XVI was not meant to rule. He was a very nice man, but he didn't know how to hold the power. He didn't know how to control the country, and he didn't know what was happening. I'm not sure if it's the truth or not. Marie-Antoinette regarde Louis XVI depuis un bateau. Marie-Antoinette regarde Louis XVI depuis un bateau. Ici. Le peuple a faim en 1787, en 1788, en 1789. In fact, what happened at the time is that I heard the weather was very, very, very bad. And it was very dry and very hot, and there was no wheat, so the people were very hungry and they starved. They were starving to death, and they were asking for bread. You see, the people starve. And okay, so here you have the monastery at the time, l'ancien régime, how it was. So here you have the bishop, le clergé et la noblesse. The clergy is the church, and here the nobility, the nobleman, and here you have all the rest. No, all the rest is still divided. You have the middle class, but it's kind of small, then the artisan, then the peasant, the farmers. But you need to see that 98% of the population is the third estate, so they don't live very well. Okay. Cause of the French Revolution: absolute monarchy, corrupt leadership, unfair land distribution, unfair tax code. There were many, many taxes because, as I told you, the country was a little bit bankrupt because of Louis XIV. You know, rigid social class structure. People were born to be what their parents were. So if you were born a nobleman, you would be a nobleman. If you were born a farmer, you would be a farmer. There was no way. It was very hard to change. And the bourgeois were very fed up with it because they were like, I'm getting rich and I can never be a nobleman except I marry a nobleman, which is very difficult. Except I have a daughter, and my daughter will marry a nobleman, and I can move to another social class. I find it interesting that in France, even today, I think social class matter a lot. You will not see it if you go there, you will not notice this, but yes, it's true, social class matter a lot. Privilege of the first and second estate, spread of enlightenment ideas. So people, the idea, les idées des Lumières, people had the idea that say, we can be equal, we have the same right, we are all human beings. You know, the government debt, that's what I'm telling you, the government is in debt. Poor harvest, there was no crops, people were starving. Inflation, the king didn't know how to do to pay the debts. So what they did is they started doing inflation. So they issued paper money, and there was a lot of inflation. Failure of so the money people had was worth nothing. They were not able to buy anything with it. Failure of Louis XVI to accept reform. Formation of National Assembly. Storming of the Bastille. So the National Assembly, it means the people gather together and they say, now we are fed up with it. We are the people and we represent 98% of the population. We want the same right as the nobleman and the church. You know? And at the end, because there was so many conflicts, the people attacked at the end. So le 14 juillet 1789, le peuple de Paris attaque. You can see, leading by there's a famous woman called Marianne. It's now the symbol of France, of the Republic. They say this woman was a woman of Paris. And in fact, I believe it is true that the women were starving, taking care of the children, and they are the first one who went out on the street and started shouting for revolution, for justice, for bread. Give us bread, you know, and they went there. C'est le 14 juillet. Le 14 juillet is now the symbol of the Republic and the French National Festival. Ils attaquent la prison du roi Louis XVI. Donc la prison, the jail, la prison, c'est la Bastille. In fact, they found out, ils attaquent la Bastille. Ils attaquent la Bastille. C'est la révolution. A funny anecdote is they came inside the Bastille, and inside they were seeing 3 prisoners. So people believe, the king is unfair, they put all the good people in jail, and there were only 3 prisoners, and among these 3 prisoners, I think one was a spy, foreign spy or something, one was a crazy man, and the third one, I don't know. So, yes. Les femmes marchent sur Versailles. Why Versailles? Parce qu'à Versailles, il y a le roi. C'est la révolution! Louis XVI est arrêté par le peuple. Louis XVI est exécuté en 1793. So there was a trial and it was very unfair. In fact, people didn't want the death of the king, and after that there was a huge civil war because part of the population was very religious and they believed this was a mistake and they fought, you know. So they were the one for the Republic and the Republican and the monarchiste, les monarchistes et les républicains. Louis XVI est guillotiné en 1793. Guillotiné. And his last words were, they asked him, do you have any last word? And I think he said, I love France and I love French people, and I don't, even you do this to me, I don't put any blame on you. So you can see he was a good man, you know, and I wish all the best, you know. And he said this before. That's why his last word. So you can see, and I hope my blood will not fall back on France. You know, he said this because, you know, at the time people believed a lot in this, that if you do something bad, it will fall back on you. You know, so he said, I don't wish this. Louis XVI est décapité en 1793. Et Marie-Antoinette? So that was the question, what to do with her? So for some time they wanted her to be saved. But Marie-Antoinette l'Autrichienne, et Marie-Antoinette est exécutée en 1793. She's also beheaded. And the worst is that the child was also beheaded a few years after, you know. So that's it. Cette lame de guillotine est celle qui a décapité Marie-Antoinette en 1793. L'inventeur de la guillotine s'appelle Monsieur Guillotin. And these are the people who were killed during the revolution, some of the people, because so many people were guillotinés during the revolution. You need to know that most of these people, in fact, were people from le peuple. They were not noblemen, they were not from the church, they were not noblemen, only a tiny percentage were, and most of them, in fact, were bourgeois, from the tiers état, from the 98%, you know. It's just people were hungry and it was civil war, so you need to find some scapegoats, you know. when the situation start to be crazy, people want to kill each other. That's the human nature. Kind of sad. So that's the lesson for today. Vive la révolution! Vive la République! Okay, and this is something that I believe the people never change. And in France, in fact, let me try to stop this now. In France, in fact, I find out that the French people are a little bit hot-headed, and we want the right. You know, French people, they were often thinking, hey, why is this like this? Why is this like this? I don't accept it. Revolution, revolution. You know, the people they can. You know, I think it's not by any chance that the revolution started in France. I think the French people, they have this idea that it's not as much in other countries. It depends on the people. It's all about the people. Even though the people are changing, French people don't accept. There are some things they don't accept. They say, this is our rights, this is the way it should be, so they don't accept. Okay, I will leave you for now. À bientôt les amis, au revoir.